Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall-Greider. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall-Greider.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. I'm so honored that you're spending some of it with us, so welcome. We are so thrilled to be connecting with you today. In October, we have been focused on unmasking our potential. How can we do that? How, as we're getting ready to step into the holidays and all that brings, how can we stand in our gifts, our talents, and our abilities and bring those forward? Perhaps even unveil some of our gifts and talents that we maybe hide or have kept hidden or are not even aware of. How can we bring all of those to the table? How can we bring all of who we are forward to have the impact we are called to have? That's what we're going to be talking about today. We have amazing guests that are joining us from a variety of backgrounds and experiences to come alongside us to help us shine powerfully in our life. I'm really excited about the lineup of guests. We have an amazing sponsor that's coming alongside us too to help us all shine and show up powerfully in our life. So I'd love for you to do is to take a moment to take a deep breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth, like you're blowing through a straw. Sometimes in that hustle and bustle and busyness, we forget to breathe. We start breathing shallowly, which means we're not even bringing oxygen to every cell of our body, which makes it hard to think clearly and to be present. So I'm going to invite you throughout our time together today to remember to take those beautiful deep breaths, that this time is just for you. This is an opportunity for us to come together and pour into you. And we're so honored to have you here with us. So welcome, welcome. Those of you who are driving, please stay safe. Keep both hands on the wheel. Those of you who are able to, please lean in, put both feet on the floor. Feel that chair supporting you. Sit back in the chair. Put one hand on your heart, one hand on your head. This is a reminder to bring all of you in. Mind, body, soul, and spirit. And let's take a breath in. And breathe out. And that deep belly breathing, where we breathe into our belly, actually helps lower our cortisol levels, our stress levels, and helps bring us very present. And part of the reason I want us to be present is because I know there is something here for you. Keep breathing. By the very nature that you tuned in today, it's not by accident. There is a purpose. And I want you to receive everything that is here for you. So be open and willing to receive as you're breathing and creating room, releasing what no longer serves, bringing in that which does. Go ahead and close your eyes. You're absolutely safe. And in this space, what is it that you need today? What is it that will encourage you, empower you, uplift you, support you to step more fully into all of who you are, unmasking your gifts, your talents, your abilities, your dreams, all that you are wanting to bring forward, to have that impact and influence you are called to have? What is it you need today that you are willing to receive because you have choice? What is it that you need today and are willing to receive? See if that shifts the answer and the information a little bit. Please note, I did not ask how that need would be met, but simply identifying it and being open to receiving. And I'm going to encourage you to actually be unattached to how. In fact, be looking forward to the amazing and wonderful way that need can be met. I want you on the lookout to be surprised and excited by the amazing, wonderful way the need that you identified is met. Beautiful. So what is it that you need and are willing to receive? Wonderful. Receive that information. Let's take a deep breath together as we come back into the room. Beautiful. Eyes open. Fully present. Wonderful. And take a moment and write down what was laid on your heart, what it is that you need and are willing to receive. Let's keep it top of mind today. It's so easy to get distracted and move on to the next thing and miss the answer that can be right in front of us. So keep it top of mind, and part of creating it and bringing it to reality is writing it down. That connects your heart and your hand and making it real time all together in one beautiful phrase. So go ahead and write down what it is that you need and are willing to receive. Wonderful. We're going to go around our virtual room here, and as we do that, I'm going to ask each of our amazing guests on a heart level just to share when they took a moment to stop, pause, and listen to their heart. What were they reminded, or what was the message that they were given? So with that, Monica, I'd love for you to start. What was laid on your heart?
Well, actually, it was the need to stop and breathe in my everyday life. I've been so incredibly busy in the past few weeks especially, and then when you asked us to stop and breathe, I had to just chuckle to myself because I don't think I stopped all morning. And it is so necessary in your everyday life with your career and your extracurricular activities and your families, and you need to just take that moment to step back and just recenter yourself.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I love that, and I'm glad it was such a timely experience and reminder.
It was, absolutely.
Beautiful. I love it. Love it. How about you, Paula? What was laid on your heart?
Yeah, I think just like Monica was saying, I guess we're on the same wavelength because I'm learning how to, and this is just taking it all in, is the need to linger more, to stay in awe. Because what I do is I will experience a great moment or any type of moment, and I just rush through those memories or moments, I rush through and then I miss something that could be experienced in a longer period of time had I just stopped. And like you were saying, Monica, breathing and taking it all in, because the hustle and bustle and microwave type society where you're just going, and you just stop to just linger around longer, take an extra few minutes, drink that cup of coffee, and just sit and relax and let yourself experience the moment that you're in.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that power of being. And I love the feel of that word that you said, linger, in the moment instead of rushing off to that next thing, having that extra cup of coffee or tea and appreciating being in that moment and even celebrating that accomplishment, because you're right, we can just rush on to the next thing. So beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And listeners, how about you? When we stopped, paused, and listened, were you perhaps reminded to pause and linger and breathe, take things in a little bit more? What was laid on your heart? As we get ready to go to our first commercial break, I want you to actually hear these commercials playing in the background. They are here to support you with great insights and updates and information we want you to know about. But in disguise, they're creating a 2-minute moment for you to stop, pause, breathe, integrate what's being spoken into your heart, into your spirit. It's giving you the room and space to do that real time while you're present and participating in the program today, because each of you are a participant. Each of you are bringing your energy and spirit to our conversation. So as we go to this first break, take this time to stop, pause, breathe, linger, and listen to what's being spoken into your heart and spirit. We'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Be sure to friend us on Facebook. You can do it right now. Visit facebook.com/Voice America or search for us at keyword Voice America.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Get Unchained. Tune in every Monday for Jane Unchained on the Voice America Influencers channel, featuring nationally recognized best-selling author, TV journalist, and social media influencer Jane Velez Mitchell. This program takes you inside a trending lifestyle that's the next wave of human evolution. It all starts on your plate. If you want to revolutionize your life, get happier, more energized, then discover the secret. Tune in to Jane Unchained Mondays at 10 a.m. Pacific Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Influencers channel.
Rebecca Hall-Griter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Have you had a chance to check out Voice America's online magazine and blog? If you love our hosts and shows, check out articles that give an even deeper perspective. Plus topics about health and fitness, movie reviews, philosophy, business tips and tactics, spirituality, positive thought, current events, and even more about your favorite host. It's just a click away at blog.voiceamerica.com. That's blog.voiceamerica.com. The Voice America Press Blog. All access, all the time. We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Griter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that you gave yourself that gift of pausing, breathing, lingering, and receiving. You're going to have those opportunities throughout our time together today, so I encourage you to use them. And what happens when we do that is you're actually able to start to integrate what's being spoken into your heart and spirit real time, instead of adding it to your ongoing to-do list that keeps getting longer that we hopefully someday get to. By actually giving yourself those 2 minutes, you're giving yourself time to take that off the to-do list and process real time. So I encourage you, as you see those moments throughout our time together, to lean in and really let them support you in receiving everything that is here for you. So welcome back. We've been talking about unmasking your gifts and talents and abilities and all of who you are, so you can have the impact that you are called to have. You can fully step into your potential. And I like to add, and shine, meaning sharing your gifts and your talents and your abilities out in the world. We're so thrilled that you're joining us. I'm excited to do a more formal introduction of one of our amazing experts. You got to hear from her on a heart level a little bit earlier in the show. And I want you to know a little bit more of her background, and then we're going to have a beautiful conversation to support you in all that you are doing. So let me introduce Paula Orsi and help me with your last name, Paula
Oresi.
Oresi. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing correctly. Paula Oresi. Oh, has such a beautiful ring and sound to it. Oresi. I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
So glad I asked. I want to make sure that's correct. So Paula Oresi is an author. She has a master's in business leadership and is a speaker. She is passionate about helping people make positive changes that create win-win outcomes. What a beautiful way to approach life and to support people in doing that. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful Paula Orezi to the show. Welcome!
Yay! Thank you for having me. It's so good to be here. Thank you.
You are so welcome. Thrilled to have you joining us. I love it. And I like to always start our... I'm glad. And I hope you could feel that energy. My hands were up and raised. We were cheering you on.
I did the same thing, too. Except I did a hand wave, too.
You are prepared. Perfect. Perfect. So I love to start our conversation with why. Why is it important to you to help people make positive changes that create win-win outcomes? Why is that work meaningful to you?
It's meaningful to me because, growing up in my career path and just going through my normal routine of, when we're all kind of, going through the normal, go to school and go to work and so forth, and that's life, and then we, go to heaven. So it's just like, okay, well, so there's got to be some meaning to this. There's got to be some way, a process, a system to be able to say, okay, how can I best make the most out of every opportunity so I can have the best life? And so for me, growing up in my 20s or getting into my 20s, I didn't really have the direction on what does it mean to have a win in life? What does it mean to have a win in general and a purpose? And so just learning through a lot of life experiences, I learned throughout the actual, just seasons in my life in general as it relates to career path. Okay, so what can I do to find my purpose, and what do I need to do with that purpose? Is it all about Paula, or is it all about helping others to impact others around me? So the for me and to help others is just knowing that everyone has a purpose in life. No one's here by mistake. There's not an accident. And so everyone has that calling over their lives, and it's up to them to discover that. And there are creative ways to do that as well. And so that discovering your purpose and why you're here on earth will create that win-win opportunity.
Beautiful. And I love that. And that gives then great meaning as we're making choices every day in what we're doing by knowing our purpose and being able to align with that. And I can hear your passion as you're sharing it. And I'm curious that you mentioned in your 20s that you weren't necessarily as clued into that. I'd love to know what helped you start to clue into that for yourself and then led you to want to help others do that too.
Well, just getting feedback from career coaches or just friends in general, it just made it feel like, no, you're supposed to do it this way and you're supposed to go this way. And I was so afraid of being myself. I was just so afraid of being Paula. And what does Paula want to study? Because I wanted to be a doctor, a pediatrician, but I'm like, you know what? I don't really know, but I guess it's a safe route to go, and that's just how it is. But I realized, oh my goodness, like I am having a passion to speak to people. I have a passion to connect. I have a passion to help them to be able to connect with their own meaning and purpose in their own lives. And so I was like, it just started when I changed my career, my actual major in college. And I felt like it was the worst thing in the world. I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? And everybody else made me feel bad about it. But I said, you know what? I'm okay. It's okay to change. It's okay to figure it out. It's okay to have a season of your life to figure it out.
And I love that you embraced. That's so powerful. I love that you embraced giving yourself permission to figure it out. Like you didn't have to have it all figured out. It's okay to discover. How powerful that you were able to do that and give yourself permission, even though it sounds like you had people around you that felt differently. You were able to really tap into that truth for yourself and give yourself permission to explore and discover. And I just celebrate that. And, everyone listening today, let's give ourselves permission to figure it out, to discover, to learn and explore. We don't have to have it all packaged up and figured out instantly in life. So Paula is giving us full permission for anyone that has been waiting for that. It is granted.
And you can have fun with it.
Oh, I love that there's joy and fun in the process. Even better. Wonderful. And what are some tips or techniques or ways that we could start tapping into our purpose, that we can start discovering how we're made and wired and our gifts and talents in that. What are some tips and advice you can give us in that?
Well, I definitely want to let everyone know, and just for me, it works for me, is pay attention to yourself. In the beginning of the show, we talked about lingering and staying in awe in the moment. Pay attention, because that moment of linger, you find out a lot of clues about either the space you're in, either the moment you're in, that can guide you to the next steps for whatever decision or choices that you have to make in that day or that week. And so taking the time to just pay attention to what you're doing majority of the time. So what I do during the week, I take the time and say, okay, what percentage of time did I spend my time connecting, or what percentage of time did I spend my time doing administrative task work or something creative or something with my hand? And then I pay attention to that. Like, I pay attention to my feelings. Did I really like doing that? Did I really like taking care of kids? Did I really like taking care of, some kind of running a show or an event or taking on a business plan and making it come to life? Did I like that? And then just paying attention to your feelings about it, because that will help you to understand, I'm getting a clue as to what I'm wired to do, or I'm getting a clue as to what I'm wired to maybe have a purpose in for the long haul, and being okay with having that time to discover that and being patient with yourself. So trying different things as well, putting your hands in the mud, I say, like trying different things, try doing stuff that are fun and saying, I want to try it. Don't be afraid to try things, because that's where you're really going to figure it out as well. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And what great wisdom and advice to pay attention to how we're feeling. I think sometimes we'll ignore that and push through, but really paying attention and seeing how much time you're spending on different things and really checking in and seeing, do I want to keep spending that amount of time on those things going forward, or do I want to shift my focus and energy? And I love that, creating a space and room to try new things and experiment, because we don't know, if we haven't tried, what we'll end up liking and loving. I know I was terrified about doing a show and being on radio and speaking and all of those different things. And so I tried to say no to all of that, imagining how they would be. But I can tell you, when I actually stepped in and tried it, a whole new world opened up to me, and I discovered gifts and talents that I have. I love having a show and producing it and bringing forward, and it's become a really important part of my life. And I could have missed out if I wasn't willing to try new experiences, and we wouldn't even be having this moment together that we're having with our listeners and connecting in this space and time. So I just want to thank you so much for sharing, and listeners, put your hands in the mud, try new things. I love it.
Exactly. You only have one life to live. You've got to live it, and you've got to try things and be okay, and not try to be perfect at everything, of course, but doing your best to have that, that journey of discovery.
Oh, and I think perfection is overrated, and in reality doesn't truly exist. We want to connect as real people. So anytime we feel those perfection tendencies, let's just release that and celebrate being and discovering and learning. And as we get ready to go to our next commercial break, are there any final thoughts, tips, or piece of advice you want to share with us?
Well, I just want to share that, making sure that we are patient with ourselves is obviously going to be the first step, and making sure that we're patient with others as they're coming alongside us to be able to help us discover our own purpose and gifts and talents. But not being afraid to live. Like I said earlier, life is short. You only have one life to live. So make the best out of it. Make the best out of every opportunity, and always remember to linger and take that time to linger and take it down one notch. And you'll be surprised as to what you'll discover.
So powerful, wonderful advice. Thank you so much for sharing and joining us today. And absolutely. And towards the end of the show, listeners, we're going to let you know how you can connect in and go deeper with Paula. So make sure to stay tuned as we get ready to go to our next commercial break. I want to encourage you to reflect on what Paula just shared. Take this moment to go deeper, to linger, to see what is being placed on your heart and spirit. And we'll look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Thank you.
Think you've seen everything there is to see in online television? Let us surprise you. Visit voiceamerica.tv today for sports, health, business, and more on demand 24/7.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Sustainable success is just around the corner. If you are an entrepreneur, business leader, or anybody looking for their next level of success, tune into Sustainable Success with host Chris Salem. Did you know that the path to success is a long path that started many years ago? The path you started on then determines what is happening now. Chris and his amazing guests in their field will help you navigate the path to sustainable success every Thursday at 12 noon Eastern Time and 9 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Tune in to the Voice America Variety channel on the Voice America Talk Radio Network. Voice America Variety broadcasts a diverse array of topics, reaching a global community. Our experts come from all walks of life, and the topics they discuss are everything from current events, arts and entertainment, leadership, parenting, relationships, self-improvement, career advice, and a variety of other topics. Check us out today. You're sure to find something of interest. Voice America Variety. Talk on today's hot topics.
Change starts here. Change starts now. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that it gave you an opportunity to stop, pause, linger, as Paula would say, and receive powerful information by going a little deeper and seeing how you feel about how you are being in your life and kind of what you're discovering in that. So as we connect back in together, we've been talking about unmasking your gifts, your talents, your abilities, bringing you forward in a powerful way, stepping fully into your potential. And we have a sponsor that's coming alongside us that echoes these beliefs. They want to help you shine powerfully in your life. So I'm very excited to share about them. But before I do, I want you to know what it means to be a sponsor. Because I think sometimes we don't know what that means. We hear what we think is an advertisement, but what it really is this is an organization that believes in you. This is an organization that believes in you so much. They are willing to lean in and help bring our show to you. They believe in who you are and what you're wanting to create in your life and want to support you and do that on such a level. They are willing to put their name, brand, and resources behind it. And I think that's really powerful. And so I want you to listen in to this amazing sponsor that believes in all of us on that level. They are called Thrive Cosmetics. And that's CAUSEMETICS, Thrive Cosmetics. And they are an amazing organization that brings cosmetics to you to help you shine powerfully. They are vegan and cruelty-free. which I really appreciate and think is powerful. They are effective, long-lasting wear products that are clinically proven to be free of parabens and sulfates, so won't have any of those things in it. And every purchase by them, every purchase of their product, they give a donation to help women who are in need, to help them thrive. These causes include emerging from hopelessness, surviving domestic abuse, and fighting cancer. And I know many of those causes are close to our heart. They also have auto replacement, which is nice that you don't have to worry about when you're getting low on something. It will automatically be shipped to you. You can set it up at regular intervals. And I had the opportunity to experience their cosmetics, and I can tell you I love them. One of my favorite is the brightening sleep mask. You put this on before you go to bed, just this beautiful thin coat. It feels wonderful, and my skin is glowing the next morning. I love it. And many of us believe in manifesting those things that we want and bringing forward. And I can tell you, I was looking at an ad they had on Facebook about their beautiful mascara that created these wonderful long lashes. And guess what? That's one of the products I got to sample and use, and I love it as well. So it was so exciting to me that that was in the package of products I got to try, and I absolutely love their mascara. It feels wonderful, extends the lashes, and really opens up the eyes beautifully. So I am a big fan, love what they stand for, love the products they bring forward, and in honor of them being our sponsor today, they wanted to give you a special deal. So listen in, get your pen and paper ready, your writing utensil, or get ready to type this in your phone, however you capture information, because here's an opportunity for you to get a great deal in trying out their amazing products. So here's where you go. You want to start thriving and help women in need today by going to thrivecosmetics.com/empowering. And then you're going to enter the code word empowering, all capital letters, empowering, for a 15% off your first purchase, which is great. I love getting a deal, wonderful products, and you get 15% off your first purchase. Let me spell it out. It's thrivecosmetics.com/empowering. That's THRIV as in Victor, ECAUSEMETICS.com/empowering. And the special code word is empowering for your 15% off. So take action, check out their products. I know you'll be pleased, and we look forward to seeing you all shining beautifully. And I just highly recommend this mask, this brightening sleep mask. I think you'll really enjoy it. So Thrive Cosmetics, thank you so much for leaning in, making today's show possible, and believing in all of our amazing listeners and generosity in sharing that amazing 15% discount. So thank you. Now, we have been talking about, and I keep saying thrive because I want us to thrive. So we are talking about thriving and stepping into our potential, unmasking our gifts and our talents and our abilities. And one of the things we talked about early on in the show was also remembering to stop and pause and celebrate. I believe Paula shared that earlier in our conversation. So as I introduce our next guest, I'm really excited to share so much of what she has done and is doing, and we get to celebrate something that she's launching and bringing forward. So let me introduce our next amazing guest. Her name is Monica Skiley, and she has been involved in the pageant industry for over 30 years. From participating as a contestant, a coach, a judge, and coordinator. So she's seen all different sides and dynamics of the industry. She has performed on the same stage that many Saturday Night Live alumni got their start on. She's received numerous pageant titles, among her favorite, because there are many, so she chose a couple to list today. And that was Mrs. Illinois America 1999, and later placing third runner runner-up to Mrs. America. What a huge accomplishment. And she is launching her first book, Confessions of an Aging Beauty Queen, on October 30th. Make sure to write that date on your calendar, October 30th. And I am just thrilled and excited to bring the amazing Monica to the stage. Please lean in and warmly welcome Monica Skyling to the show. Welcome!
Thank you so much. Your enthusiasm is contagious.
Yay! Well, I'm glad, and I hope your hands were raised and you had the wave going as you were teaching.
Of course.
Beautiful. I love it. Well, welcome. I'm thrilled to have you joining us today. And
thank you.
Absolutely. And I feel like there's a lot of mystery and mystique about the pageant world. And so it's really great that we're getting to talk with you and get a little bit of an insider view on how it all works and what might be myth and truth. So I'm just really excited about that. But before we get into that, I'd love for you to share, why is the pageant world so important to you? It's something you've been involved with and for 30 years. Why is this an area that is so meaningful to you?
Well, first, let me start by saying I can't even believe it's been 30 years because I don't feel much older than 30 years old, but I am. But I suppose when I started competing in pageants, I really didn't know how much they can give you as a person in your personal journey. Mm-hmm. I have made some of the best friends in my life through pageants. And most people think that when you're competing in pageants, you're just competing against each other and nobody likes each other. Everybody's kind of mean and catty, and that is so far from the truth because you're obviously a goal-oriented, competitive person yourself, and you're also putting yourself in the situation to meet the same types of people. So yes, even though we're competing against each other, we're also there to support each other. Roommates will share clothes, they'll share tips, they'll share things with each other, even though you're going for the same title. And I think that's the biggest thing I've gotten out of competition.
Oh, so powerful. I love that because you're right. I think we see movies or we see shows where that's kind of what's portrayed, and so we start to think that's how it is. So I love hearing that it isn't like that, that really people can be competing in a sense where they are wanting to shine and put their best foot forward and show all they can do, but not in a way where it's putting others down. And I think that's really, really powerful in an environment we'd all love to be part of.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So looking at that and being part of this world for so many years, how has that impacted how you are in your day-to-day life, or has it?
Oh, it absolutely has. One of the things I talk a lot about in my book is interview preparation. Mm-hmm. And I've had so much extensive training for the interview portion of the competition, whether it be the private interview or the onstage interview, that as I got older and I started interviewing for bigger positions in my career field, I was never afraid to go into the interview in the same sense that I was before I started competing in pageants. Because most job interviews can never compare to as stressful as what a pageant interview would be, or as intimidating. Most pageant interviews, you're in a conference room with 5 judges on one side of the table, and you're alone on the other side, and they're all asking you questions. So going into a job interview where it's most likely going to be a one-on-one or maybe a two-on-one interview, it's much less intimidating. So I've never had a fear of going into a job interview in the same sense that I had before I started competing.
Oh, so powerful. And I've had the opportunity of reading your book, and I really enjoyed it. And
thank you so much.
You're welcome. And it expanded my view on so many levels. And I felt like there were some really great tips that you were giving and insights for people who are looking to step into that world. And that I believe the interview portion of the pageant ended up becoming one of your favorite parts. Is that true?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Before you receive coaching, you really learn how to best describe things that are important to you and things that you're passionate about, you connect with the judges on a whole different level because the fear has been removed. And you're just talking about yourself. You're just having a conversation. And especially years later, I came to realize that judges can be a little bit nervous, too. I've judged many pageants, and sometimes they're a little unsure of what they're going to ask, or they might have a little bit of the jitters. They're just regular people, and you're really just sharing things that you're passionate about and just talking, just having a conversation, and it's really a lot of fun. Every interview, when that bell goes off, you're not ready to stop. You want to keep going for a few more minutes. It's really a powerful experience.
I love it. And in that interview, I was thinking when we're going for a job or things like that we can psych ourselves out. We can get really, really nervous. And what
Absolutely.
a gift to be confident in that space and really feel like you can connect powerfully and as a person and really articulate what you're bringing to the table. I think those are really powerful skills that you learned. Now, when we're looking at the world, and I was just thinking with all the different ways you've gotten to participate in the pageant industry, what's one of your favorite things? And I know there are probably lots of favorite things, but what's the top one that comes to your mind today?
Well, I love all aspects of competition, but as far as my own competition goes, I would have to say my favorite is the getting ready portion, the months before the competition, getting yourself mentally, physically prepared, getting your wardrobe together, working out, watching your diet, and just everything that's involved with preparation I find exciting. And as much as I love the competition itself, the prep is what I'm most passionate about. And as far as the other side of the coin, I also love coaching. Mm-hmm. I love sharing what I've learned throughout the years and watching other people grow and show their individuality and be proud of who they are. So I wouldn't be able to pick just one thing. Both sides are equally rewarding to me.
I love it, and I love that you enjoy getting ready for the event and for the competition, because I think sometimes people get so focused on the event, they can miss out on all those months leading up to it that they could be having great, that's powerful. And I think both if you're competing or the coach, that you can bring that joy and to that part, because that's what helps make the competition a success.
Right.
Is how they're approaching that. So I love that you shared that. Thank you.
Sure.
And I want to make sure we talk about your book. There's so many things we can talk about, and I know that people are going to want to connect on a deeper level, so we'll share how they can do that a little bit later. But I want us to take a moment and really talk about your book. And everyone, in case you missed the date before, it's coming out on October 30th. And it's called Confessions of an Aging Beauty Queen. And the reason October 30th is so special, and I want to encourage you to write it on your calendar, is because she's going to be launching on Amazon the Kindle version for the amazing rate of $1 for the first 24 hours. And I want everyone to be able to secure a copy at that amazing rate, help us get the word out. We're excited to be able to share that on our show today and make that available to all of you. So please make sure that you write October 30th on your calendar so you can lean in and get your own copy of this amazing book. And I'd love for you to share why you decided to write the book and what you're excited about sharing in it as people lean in and get a copy.
Well, for years I've always had it in the back of my mind that I wanted to write something. And then as the years went on and I would talk about my pageant experiences, one time in particular I was in a musical and the director was asking me all sorts of questions about the backstage antics. And when I was telling her some of these stories, she thought they were absolutely hilarious. And she kept telling me, oh my gosh, you have to write a book, you have to write a book. And that was about 10 years ago. And that really stuck with me, that somebody who's not been part of the pageant world thought these stories were funny. So that really inspired me to start putting everything down on paper, and I'm so glad I did, because it's so much fun to share things that people just don't know happen behind the scenes.
And I know I was captivated when I was reading it, and one story after another, and not only the things that happened, but your willingness to learn and to experience and embrace so much of the journey was really powerful too. So I enjoyed what you shared, but also how you shared it, the place that you came from in it. I just found really interesting and exciting. The pictures are beautiful. There are a lot of beautiful pictures in it. And there's some really great tips and lists and things to be aware of for anyone that is looking at stepping into this world. And I think that's really powerful too, because on the outside, just like we were sharing how people can think it's catty behind the scenes and all of that and people tearing each other down versus the truth of lifting each other up. I think there's a lot of myths around what it takes to be part of a pageant and what are some really important things to be thinking about, even when choosing the type of pageant to be part of. I wasn't even aware of some of the different types of pageants that are out there. So I don't know if there's anything you'd like to sneak preview of anything you'd like to share, or you can even make it a mystery. What would you like to share?
Well, one thing I would definitely like to share is that I purposely wrote this book so that anybody would enjoy reading it. It doesn't have to be somebody that wants to get involved in the pageant industry. Yes, there are tips throughout the whole book for competition, and there's a whole training guide at the end of the book, but I wrote the beginning of the book so anybody would enjoy reading it, just learning all the behind-the-scenes action. But then the training guide is also written with funny stories, but also that anyone could better their interview skills for any job, any position, any career path.
Yes.
And I just want to make sure that this book would be enjoyable to everybody, not just in the pageant community.
Beautiful. And I believe it is. It's just a really great book. It's empowering, it's uplifting, it's insightful, and you're right, there's a lot of great tips and advice in everyday life that we can absolutely apply in our life. And I also think it's an invaluable book for anyone who is looking at stepping into the industry. I mean, to get an insider view like this and to get tips and a guide is just huge, 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 huge. So I'm excited about your book coming out on October 30th, in case anyone missed that. Excited to have it for the special rate. Any final tip or thought you'd like to share with our listeners as they get a moment to stop, pause, and integrate what's being shared with them?
Sure, absolutely. One of the things I talk about a lot in my book is that dreams do not have an expiration date. I am 54 years old. I'm just publishing my first book. I'm so beyond excited that this is happening. And I also feel like my competition days aren't over. Just because I'm in my 50s, it doesn't mean I have to stop having dreams or stop having goals. It's so important to show anybody in your life, your family, your children, your friends, that you still have something in you to share with the world, and aging is not an excuse to stop doing that.
So powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Listeners, we're getting ready to go to our next commercial break, and as we do that, I want to encourage you to think about those dreams that you're wanting to bring forward, that you're wanting to step into, that are still within you to bring forward. That's part of bringing your brilliance forward, part of bringing your gifts forward, part of bringing your potential forward is being willing to step into those gifts and share them with the world. We will look forward to talking to you in just 2 minutes.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN. Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
There's a new force to be reckoned with in talk radio. It's Not Just Talk Radio, hosted by LaTanya Jr. and co-hosts Tina Wynn and Tony Brown. Not Just Talk Radio is like a superhero, inspiring, problem-solving, and informing, packed with action-provoking conversations from news, movements, and social and politics issues. This program is about a wide range of voices and fresh points of view from experts, celebrities, and you, the listener. Not Just Talk Radio is broadcast live Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Influencers Channel.
Rebecca Hall-Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
We don't follow, we lead. Join us, the Voice America Influencers Channel.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-472-5795. That's 1-866-472-5795. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. It has just been a thrill and an honor to be on the show with all of you today. And I want to make sure we give you an opportunity to connect with our amazing guests and go deeper. Each of these powerful women just have so much they're bringing to the world. And so I know you'll want to follow them. I know you'll want to go deeper and connect with them. And so we wanted to make sure we gave you a moment here to have their information so you can continue to follow and take things to a deeper level. And then I've also asked, as they share, if they could each give us a final piece of advice or tip or reminder that we can take with us as we get ready to go back out into the world. And so I would love to start with Monica. What is the best way for us to follow and stay connected with you going forward? And then I'd love to have you share your piece of advice or tip with us.
Sure. The easiest way is just remember my name, Facebook.com/Monica Skyling or Instagram @Monica Skyling. If you want to drop me an email, monicaskyling@gmail.com, keeping things simple.
That's perfect.
And as far as one bit of advice or something is that make sure you do at least one thing every day that makes you happy. We're so constantly involved with our families, making sure our kids are happy, making sure our spouses are happy, that sometimes as women I feel like sometimes we forget about ourselves. So even if you just take 5 minutes a day, just doing one thing that makes you happy, I think it's so important.
Beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's all to make that one thing a day to make us happy that's important to us, taking time for that. Beautiful. And then really fast, because I want to make sure everybody gets Paula's information too. So Paula, how can they connect with you?
Yeah, so they can connect with me, Paula Arezzi. I actually have a website that's called www.paulaostore.com. That's all one word.
Nice.
I also have an Instagram, and it is @PaulaOStore. And to be able to connect with me via email, you can email me directly at POREZ815@gmail.com. Again, that's POREZ815@gmail.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And you'll have to connect in with Paula to get her beautiful piece of advice that you can take with you as you move out into the world. I do want to encourage you to remember to linger. That's a piece of advice that Paula has shared with us today, and to go deeper and do more of those things that bring you joy. As you get ready to go back out into the world, I want you to remember that you are beautifully and wonderfully made. absolutely here on purpose and for a purpose. And we hope that you choose to bloom where you are planted and shine as you go back out into the world. Have an amazing week, everyone. Talk to you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Griter, next Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Influencers Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.